Hi everyone, my name is Jinta, and today I'll be talking to you about how you can transform business through IT. So, IT isn't just about computers, it's about how technology works together to make businesses faster, smarter, and more connected. From the smallest hardware chip to the biggest company strategy, everything in IT plays a big pivotal role in transforming business. So, firstly, I'll be talking about the computer hardware, software, and storage devices, which is the basics of a computer. The hardware, which is the physical part of the computer, is the things that you can actually touch. This includes desktops, laptops, servers, and networking devices. For example, a company might use Dell PowerEdge servers to host applications, or an HP desktop or an employee's desk to perform daily tasks. And we have softwares. Softwares is what makes the hardware useful. Without software, your computer is basically just an empty shell. This includes operating systems like Windows 11 and specialized tools like Tally, ERP for accounting, AutoCAD for design, or Microsoft Excel for financial analysis. For example, airlines use flight scheduling softwares to efficiently manage incoming and outgoing flights. We then have storage devices, which is where all the data lives, both programs and files. This can be physical, like a Seagate hard drive or SSD, or cloud based, like Google Drive and Dropbox, which allows access from anywhere. For instance, a marketing team might keep campaign files in Google Drive so that everybody can collaborate in real time. Secondly, I'm going to talk about the input and output devices. The input devices are the devices that which send data into the computer, like keyboards, mice, scanners, or microphones. For example, a supermarket barcode scanner quickly records product information during checkout. We then have output devices. Output devices display or produce results after processing, like monitors, printers, or speakers. For example, a laser printer can produce invoices and reports for clients. We then have dual function devices. Some devices do offer both input and output, like a touchscreen POS system in a restaurant, which allows staff to enter orders and instantly see the bill on the same screen. We then are going to go proceed with internal components in a CPU, which include the ALU, the CU, the registers, the cache memory, the buses and clocks. The ALU, which is the arithmetic logic unit, performs all math and logic operations. For example, Excel totaling a spreadsheet of sales of a company. Then we have CU, which is the control unit, which directs how the data moves in a CPU. For example, deciding whether to fetch a document from the storage or memory. We then have registers, which are tiny fast storages inside the CPU for temporary data. For example, storing two numbers before adding them. Cache memory. It's a very fast memory for frequently used data. Example, loading a recently visited website faster. We then have buses, the data highway that connects the CPU, memory, and storage. Then we have a clock, which keeps all the operations synchronized like a factory assembly line. Lastly, we have the role of IT business, which includes the communication, business operations, data management, decision support, customer relations, and innovation. Um, so then now we'll be talking about communication. So we have tools like Zoom or Microsoft Teams, which connect employees worldwide instantly. We have business operations, ERP systems like SAP, which track inventory, manage sales, and handle payroll automatically. We have data management, which has databases like MySQL, or cloud systems like AWS, which store and organize the large amounts of business data. Decision support, business intelligence tools like Power BI help analyze data trends to guide smart business decisions. We then have customer relationships, which include CRM tools like Salesforce, which manage customer information, follow-ups, and service requests. We then have innovation, which includes AI tools like ChatGPT, which help companies design products and create content and solve problems creatively. Everything in IT is basically connected like a chain. Hardware needs the software to work, Software needs input and output devices to communicate with people, and the CPU makes sure that everything runs smoothly. And all of that feeds into business operations, from managing data to making decisions and building customer relations. If one part is missing, the system slows down or stops. In short, IT isn't just a support tool, it's an engine that powers modern businesses, connecting technology and people to create growth, efficiency, and innovation. Now, I'll be talking about the computer booting process in a flowchart. So, before we use the computer, it has to wake up and get ready, just like we need a morning routine before starting our day. This wake up process is called booting. It's a series of steps of the computer follows from the moment you press the power button until it's ready for you to work. Let's go through the steps. So first is when the power process begins, when you decide to turn on the computer. You press the power button and the electricity starts flowing and the computer wakes up. Then there is the power on self test, which is when the system checks all the hardware components like the RAM, keyboard, and display if they're all working properly. If it fails, the process has stopped. If it passes, it moves to the BIOS initialization. The BIOS initialization is the motherboard's built-in program that prepares the system for startup and decides where to find the operating system. The BIOS looks for the bootloader, which is a small program that loads the operating system. If it is not found, it stops. If it is found, it will load the bootloader. A bootloader will then look for the OS kernel, which is the core part of the operating system. If it is not found, it will stop. If it is found, it will load the kernel. And then the kernel is loaded into the memory. And now it is in the control of the system. The operating system starts loading drivers, background services, and prepares the UI. Then your computer will be ready to use. You will see your desktop and login screen. And that's the booting process, from powering on to a fully ready system. Every step plays an important role, because if one part fails, the whole startup process can stop. Understanding this not only helps troubleshoot problems, but also shows how hardware and software works together in harmony to get our computers ready for action. Lastly, I'd like to conclude by sharing how I created this. I designed the mind map and flowchart in Canva to keep the layout clean and easy to follow. For the content, I use both ChatGPT and Perplexity to organize my ideas and simplify explanations so that they're easy and to remember and present. Using these AI tools and design softwares has really helped me create something that's both visually engaging and clear to everybody watching this. Thank you and have a great day.